Hi and welcome to my channel. Before you watch the video, I'd just like to say some of these tips and tricks might be patched due to an update. Depends on what time you're watching the video. Let me know in the comments below if you found any of your own or you think I could add any to mine. Anyway, let's get started. Firstly, we've got dog kennels and chicken coops. If these are red, they are full with animals. If they're grey, the animals haven't spawned inside. So if they're red and there's no animals inside, just make sure you check for hunters, as they could have passed through. Tip number 2, electric mines and barrels. If you pick up an electric mine in quick play or you take them into a bounty hunt, place them next to the red and yellow barrels around the map. If they're triggered by the enemy, it will instantly kill them and sometimes burn their body. So remember, when approaching a banished bounty and there is a team inside, always check the barrels, or if you're going in guns blazing, just blow the barrels up preemptively. At tip number 3, learn the audio for your weaponry. In your 3D view of the weapons arsenal, you can test the sounds of each weapon and how they sound at different distances. Learning this will be helpful when engaging teams and knowing the general distance. More information on their loadout, for example, whether it's shotguns, long ammo, medium ammo. Once you have this information, you can decide how you will approach the team depending on your health and your loadout. Just remember though, you're not as quiet as you think when you're killing zombies without silenced weapons. You can always be heard. If you look carefully around the map, you'll find random envelopes or posters on the wall. These can contain one of 1000 Hunter XP, 3 to 6 trait points, or even 500 Bloodline XP. You can also find little bags around the map that are filled with up to $25 hunt or up to 3 blood bonds. These are quite common. Tip number 5 is going to be increasing your FOV, depending on what control scheme you are. Because Hunt optimizes settings for Hunter, you will get a wider FOV than if you use Gunslinger. As you can see, the medkit on the screen is touching the bottom, but when I swap to Gunslinger, it's a lot closer. Now there are pros and cons to this, you'll just have to test them out yourself, but if you're a player just like me and you prefer a wider FOV, I suggest learn to use the Hunt control scheme. Tip number 6, zombie doctors are useful. Killing these will drop a medkit 100% of the time. This is useful if you've run out of medkits or you don't want to use one of your own. Tip number 7, climb into your advantage. There's various places around the map like this one at the fort where you can gain an advantage on your enemy. Using the element of surprise, getting that one kill can be pivotal in a gunfight. At tip number 8, we've got stopping your hunter bleeding. Using a medkit or a vitality shot will stop your hunter bleeding as well as healing. This is just to save time in gunfights. Tip number 9, take less fall damage. To do this, you need to jump onto hay bales or into water. As you can see here, I jump off the roof and it takes around 50 health. In the next clip, you'll see me jump off and I'll hit the hay bales and I'll take considerably less damage. At tip number 10, we've got staying in the extraction. If one member of your team stays in the extraction point, you can run as far as you want out wide. This could be useful flanking teams if they're pushing you or you're getting chased. Tip number 11, sometimes around the map you'll find golden cash registers. These are quite rare. I've only ever found a couple in my time playing. These give you 50 blood bonds and you need to extract to be able to keep them. Tip number 12, investigating a clue or looting a hunter will give you 1 second of dark sight back. This is to promote people running the gauntlet instead of getting out with one bounty. At tip number 13, we've got opening barricaded doors. This can be very useful for pushing the bounty team that hasn't trapped the door. Usually people don't trap this door as they think it's barricaded. At number 14, you'll see once using your dark sight near the boss, you'll see a white ring flash on the top left hand side. This indicates no hunters are in the vicinity. If using dark sight you see a red ring flash, this means hunters are close by and shit's about to go down. At number 15 we've got banishing the bounty. This restores full health every time you banish. At number 16 we've got turning on lanterns and turning them off. This is useful at night if you're running across the map and you don't want to be seen, especially if you're trying to get that toxic burn on the other hunters. Tip number 17, be patient. Sometimes being patient will pay off, especially if it's 2 vs 3 or you're playing solo. If you can kill that first hunter and make it a 2v2 or a 2v1, you're already at an advantage. Tip number 18, finding in-game traits. These are scattered across the map randomly and can give you a good advantage if you pick up a certain trait. Ideally, you've got the bounty, you've killed every hunter on the map, and now you're free to roam the map, killing every zombie. Killing meatheads will also drop trait. They also give you 100 XP each kill. Tip number 19 will be store interaction. If you go to your store and you type in the search bar a trait, it will show you all the weapons that you can use with that trait. For instance, fanning will pull up all the pistols, steady aim will pull up all the snipers and marksman weapons, and grubber will pull up all the pistols or weapons that you can use with grubber. Try this out for yourselves. At tip number 20, we've got killing the witch hives. Usually if you shoot the witch and you hit her in the body, she aggravates and the hive will chase you. What you want to do is shoot the actual head of the witch. This will kill her in one shot or one heavy knife blow. At number 21, we've got fanning. Holding down your left mouse button, or whatever you use on console, will fire this automatically instead of tapping trigger. Although you lose a little bit of aim doing this, it's very useful in close quarter battle. Tip 22 is killing water devils. If you manage to kill one of these and you jump back in the water, you'll see the swarms are still around. If you approach one of these and you get close, it won't attack you, it'll just disappear. But the spawn time is quite quick, so be careful and cross the river safely. Tip number 23 is looting burning hunters. If you use a choke bomb on a burning hunter, this will put the flame out and allow you to loot him for an extra consumable. This can be useful if you're low on meds after a huge gunfight. Tip number 24, we've got saving your hunter. If you're starting a game and you realise you haven't got time to finish it, or you're going to leave and you're worried about losing your hunter, if you leave the game before the match starts in the waiting player zone, you can load back into the main menu and your hunter will still be saved. But if you load into the game and you get past this screen and you actually start the match, you won't be able to leave with your hunter, so just bear that in mind. And last but not least, tip number 25, remember to have fun. Hunt can be very frustrating at times, but just remember it is a game. This is definitely my number one tip out of all of them. If you find yourself getting bored, maybe change up your loadouts, play with some different friends. I find using the bomb lines can be quite funny. There's nothing scarier than seeing that thing run at you.
I think I just killed them all.
Well, there we have it. There's my tips and tricks video. If you did make it this far, thanks for watching. If you learned anything new from the video at all, let me know in the comments down below. Remember, feedback is always welcome also. It will help me improve my videos a lot. I will be making a part 2 to this video, the patch 1.5. If you do want to see that, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think. See you in the next one.